upstairs. Okay, it being 7:30, I'll call the meeting to order. Can you turn the mic down just a little bit? I'm talking to my cameras over there and the guys in the control room. Thank you, that's good. Okay, Article 4. For those that are just joining us that weren't at the other meeting, we're picking up where we left off at the last annual meeting. Tonight we're going to be voting on the money articles. Does everyone have a copy of the sheet with the numbers on it, with all the motions and page numbers and figures and such? Okay, good. So I'm not going to reread all those figures. You have it right in front of you. I'll save you some time. Okay, Article 4, to see if the town will vote to fix the salaries of all elected officials, elected and appointed officials of the town, and determine the sums of money will be raised, appropriated, borrowed, or transferred in the treasury to defray the charges and expenses of the town for a 12-month period beginning July 1st, 2023, including a reserve fund under the control of the Finance Committee, or taking action relative to. Is there a motion on number 1?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the sums of money as written for salaries and expenses to operate the following departments for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023. Town Moderator, Selectmen, Finance Committee, Accountant, Assessors, Treasurer, Collector, Town Clerk, Conservation, CMRPC, Planning Board, and ZBA, and further move to transfer the sum of $292,862.89 from stabilization to group insurance.
Okay, is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this article? Anything at all? All right. Oh, sorry, Ron. Go ahead. Well, we didn't have the numbers at the first meeting, so what the numbers are presented tonight are the numbers we're going with. Okay, so there was no numbers presented? No. We passed over till yeah. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, anything else to be said? All right, because this requires a transfer from stabilization, it's going to require a 2/3 vote. So we're going to vote it backwards. Those that are not in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Those that are in favor of this motion, please raise your hand. Okay, close to unanimous as you can get. Article 4, the second motion. John's got it.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the sums of money as written for salaries and expenses to operate the following departments for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023. Police, fire, building inspector, plumbing and gas inspector, wiring inspector, North Brookfield Emergency Management, and tree warden, and further move to transfer the sum of $33,398.10 from fire personnel stabilization, the sum of $38,169.25 from police personnel stabilization, and the sum of $13,630.54 from lease stabilization, for a total transfer of $85,197.89 to fire truck lease expense, and further move to transfer the sum of $10,225.25 from lease stabilization to fire air tank lease.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? Okay, again, this is going to require 2/3 because it removes money from stabilization accounts. So those that are not in favor of this article, please raise your hand. Those that are, please raise your hand. Okay, unanimous. Article 4, the third motion.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the following sums of money as written for salaries and expenses to operate the school department for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023.
Okay, is there a second? It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 4, the fourth motion.
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the following sums of money as written for salaries and expenses to operate the following departments for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2023. Highway, Board of Health, Cemetery, Council on Aging, Veterans, Library, Playground, Town Beach, and Town Park.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this motion? Yes, sir. Please step up.
Ethan Mlad, 17 Ashley Road, Board of Health Chairman. I just wanted to note there are a couple items under the Board of Health budget that were reduced from my original request, and while they're not big reductions, I just wanted to note that a couple of them are fixed costs, so it's very likely that we will come to the town asking for that money after the fact.
Okay, thank you. Anything else to be said? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 5, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer a sum of money to operate the water department for a 12-month period beginning July 1st, 2023, under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 1/2, or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to appropriate the following sums as written to operate the water department for the 12-month period beginning July 1, 2023, under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this? Anything at all? All those in favor, please signify by raising your hands. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 6, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer a sum of money to operate the sewer department for a 12-month period beginning July 1st, 2023, under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 1/2, or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the following sums be appropriated as written to operate the sewer department for the 12-month period beginning July 1st, 2023, under the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 1/2, and further to transfer $75,000 from sewer retained earnings to sewer repair and maintenance.
Is there a second? Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this motion? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Article 14, to see if the town will vote to transfer, or excuse me, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate, borrow, or transfer from available funds a sum of money to the North Brookfield Emergency Squad for payment of the contracted services or take any action relative thereto. Is there a motion?
Mr. Moderator, I move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $70,000 to North Brookfield Emergency Squad Service Contract Account, and further move that the town vote to raise and appropriate the sum of $68,000 to the North Brookfield Emergency Squad for ALS services for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2023.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there anything to be said on this motion? Anything at all? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anything else to come in front of this meeting? If not, I would entertain a motion to dissolve. Okay, Ron Ryle. Second? Second. I got John Tripp. Okay, all those in favor signify by raising your hands. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming out tonight, folks. I know it's a Friday night and all.